Welcome everyone to this Zoom meeting regarding our Project Fair 2024. All protocols observed. Welcome PDG Leslie, PDG Sonia, and all others. Welcome in this meeting. We have a few agenda points that we're gonna discuss tonight. We have, of course, our opening. We have our introduction of our District 7030 International Service Team. We will talk shortly about our Project Fair 2023 in Grenada. We will have a short presentation, or not a presentation, but shortly we will talk also about our time frame towards the Project Fair 2024 in St. Vincent, and then give you more background information on what we expect for the projects that you can present at the Project Fair, questions and answers, and then the closing. So let me start by introducing the District 7030 International Service Team. I'm starting with myself. I'm the District International Service Chair for this year. In the team, we have Mikasha. Where's Mikasha? Oh, Mikasha is from St. Vincent. In the team, we have PDG Zonia and PDG Lyle and PDG Leslie in the group. And we also have two new members in the group this year. We have Okera. Okera, you're here, right? Let me see.
Yes, I'm here. Pleasure to be here. Okera Duncan from the Rotary Club of Central Port of Spain. Apologies for the camera.
Okay, no, it's okay. Thank you. And we have Lisa Francis. Lisa, maybe you can introduce you also shortly.
Hello, hi, good night, everyone. I am Lisa. Nice to see everybody with us tonight.
Okay, thank you. So I'm gonna ask Mikasha to take over the mic and start about a short recap about the Project Fair 2023 in Grenada. Mikasha.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Protocol already established. I will continue. Some of you may have been in attendance at the Project Fair in Grenada back in April, and others, you're new to this Project Fair idea, but it was our inaugural Project Fair that the district did. We've never done something like that before. And just to give you guys a little bit of an update, we had 25 projects that were presented to about 12 people that came in from the Northwest state, the state of Ohio, the Northwest side of it, and a couple that came in from Illinois. They're all Rotarians. And we worked with the kind of structure that they're used to, and which seems to be fairly workable. From that group, they all decided they went back to their clubs. Most of them were DGs, but they went back to their clubs and pushed the projects that they really liked. Only one from Illinois, one from Illinois, she was not able to get funding, but she's still trying. So the Ohio people had taken up about, I think it's around 10 projects that were presented. From St. Lucia, Barbados, Grenada, Trinidad, Aruba, Guyana, Suriname. So that was about seven countries, 10 projects. And they came up to over $250,000 US. Now, I know for those of you who were at the Project Fair last year, I know it's been a little bit frustrating with respect to the communication as to whether your project was taken up or if it wasn't, and what's next. we were not really in a position to answer those questions right away because many of the projects were taken up initially, but it's also on a rolling basis. So what may happen is they go back to their club or their district and they've got funds set aside to be used. And it may be that certain projects that they had earmarked money for fell through, and now they have money that's free again. And they now look to the projects in our district that they can fund. So in recent times, I think 2 more projects were taken up within the last, I'd say maybe 3 to 4 weeks. So that's why we've not really been able to answer, whether what's happening. I don't know that we're in a position to actually change that. Like, that really does depend on the visitors that are here and how much they can sell a particular project to their club or district for funding. But maybe we'll take questions and answers on that at the end of the Zoom meeting. But basically that's what happened. So because we were able to get in, a fair bit of funding, the district has decided that they will go ahead with the project fair again this year, which will happen in St. Vincent. So I hope that answers some questions and give you some updates, but we are quite pleased with the way the inaugural project fair went. And we certainly will be tweaking it to try and improve things, especially communication. And as a result, that's one of the reasons we've added Lisa and Okera to this, to the District International Services Committee to help with that. So, Stephen, that's my update on
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And I must apologize. I forgot to introduce another member of the International Service Team, Maurice Saat, from the Rotary Club of
Pointe-à-Pitre in Guadeloupe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Maurice. Okay, thank you, Mikasha. And then, maybe you can continue, Mikasha, with the time frame what we are planning for the project fair in St. Vincent.
Yeah, so it's going to follow a similar time frame as last year. As you know, the district conference is, the conference itself is April 19th and 20th, which is a Friday and Saturday. The project fair is running concurrently with that on those 2 days. So working backwards, we would like for all projects to be submitted by January 31st, 2024, the latest. Within the next week or 2, I will send out the project fair template, the project template, that because we would like a consistency with, the information that we're getting from each person, like a name, a contact number, contact email, what your budget is, et cetera, et cetera. I just would like to tweak it a little bit. And then we'll send it out, circulate it to you within the next couple of weeks. But in the interim, please think about your projects, what you would like to put forward. And please submit it prior to January 31st of 2024. The District International Services Committee will meet and decide which projects that they will put forward to presentation, and we'll communicate that to you by the end of February 2024. After that, we will probably hold a Zoom meeting maybe around mid-March, just to help you, guide you in what your presentation should be like, or how you can do your presentations. In terms of the number of projects that we're going to be presenting, it's not going to be 25 like we did last year. Apparently that was way too much for the visitors. It was very hard on their on the butts, and sometimes things went over time, so it was really difficult. It was very long days for them. So we will have to reduce it to about 18 to 20. We're doing about, maybe 9 a day. But one of the innovations innovations that we're going to try this year is something like a house of friendship, where for those who are not presenting, they can still exhibit their project, or they have, somebody at a booth that explains their project, so that we're going to give the visitors some time to look at other people's projects that weren't presented, and those that they seem drawn to or attracted to, they can talk to the project leader. Because one of the things about the project fair, for those who are new to this, is not only is it about funding projects or getting technical expertise on your projects, but it's also about fellowship, it's about network, it's about building bonds across the districts. And when you do that, you always have people that you can go to years down the road, partner with on other projects, because you would have built that relationship. So the House of Friendship kind of allows for that one-on-one interaction, which we didn't have as much of last year in Grenada, that we would like to improve on this year. So even if you're not selected to present, you still have an opportunity to exhibit your project and to talk about it at the House of Friendship. So I just wanted to bring that up as the two major changes is less projects being presented, but an opportunity to exhibit your projects. I can't think of anything else at the moment. I'm drawing a blank. But in terms of time frame, critical times, end of January, end of February, and about middle March, to let you know what the presentations are, who's doing the presentations. And they will be done on the Friday and the Saturday, 19th and 20th of April.
Okay, thank you, Mikasha. You already explained to
Some degree.
yes, about the project fair itself, what we can expect the coming year.
Yeah. So sorry.
Yeah, no, continue.
The other two things that I was going to say is we're going to, once again, presentations will be kept to about 30 minutes per project presenter, about 15 minutes of your actual presentation, and allowing for another 15 minutes for questions and answers. So just keep that in mind, for the future when you're planning, how you want to present your projects. The other thing, we would like to not be so focused on one area for funding. The folks in Ohio were incredibly generous with us, because we were trying out this new project fair. We had not really established any links with anybody else, and they were able to persuade other people in their district and nearby districts in their zone to come to this fair and give us a chance. So we're incredibly grateful to them for that. They were really wonderful. But we can't keep going to the same watering hole all the time for money. So we want to diversify about who gets invited. We will invite back those Ohio people, because we've obviously built a relationship with them. Many of them will not be able to come because they're holding their district conference at the same time that we are. So, but some of them are eager to come, and they are coming, and they let us know they didn't care what, but since Grenada, they were definitely coming back again. And they've been quite generous as well. But we've decided to also invite some folks from the United Kingdom, and also from other districts in our zone to participate. There's also some interest from Italy. So we may be getting folks from Italy to come to the project fair. And also there was a suggestion that, their Rotary clubs in Taiwan were quite interested in coming as well. They did fund a Rotary International, a grant, a project for us last year. So they're really interested in continuing that relationship and coming to this and seeing what, what our district is, what other projects they can find in the district to fund. So we're opening it up to quite a few other people. And that really increases our opportunity to get funding. We are capping the visitors at 20 people because our district can't afford to entertain more than 20 visitors at this time. But hopefully, one day we can increase that, but we are capping it at 20 people for now. And I think those were the major highlights. The other thing, when you're doing your projects, please keep in mind the 7 areas of focus that Rotary asks all projects, to fall under. And also, one of the comments that came back, because I did do a survey of the visitors to find out what we could tweak and improve on. And one of the things is that, not to say that our projects weren't worthy, but they didn't seem necessarily needy enough. So, just kind of keep in mind that I think one comment was something about distinguish between a need and a want. Not to us necessarily, but when they were evaluating the projects, that was one of the criteria they were looking at. So I just want you to keep that in mind. It certainly will help to boost you getting funding for your projects. Apart from that, I think I don't have anything further to say. You will be in St. Vincent. You're on my home turf, and we really look forward to welcoming you all here. And we do have a dedicated conference room for the project fair at a hotel. And we'll give you more details about that, in the weeks to come. And I'm really looking forward to having you, and it should be really fun. We've got some really cool things that we plan on doing with you guys outside of the project fair. So yeah, I think that's it from me with respect to those things, Stephen.
Okay, thank you, Mikasha. Before we go to questions and answers, does any other member of this team wants to add to this meeting? PDG Leslie or PDG Sonia? No?
No, Chair, except that have all the clubs been supplied with the template information for presenting the projects?
I will be sending that out within the next week or two, PDG
Yeah.
Leslie.
Thank you.
I just want to tweak it a little. I think there was some repetitive information in there, so I just want to clean it up a little bit, and then we'll send it out. Have it interpreted, have a French template done as well, and send it out.
Mm-hmm. Also, second question, were we able to contact the ICC group?
I have
We're working on that.
Yeah, I have some contact information, so we're going to be doing up the invitation to them. And I know DG Brian is also working on something there as well.
Okay. Thank you. So we can, we're going really fast. So we're going to questions and answers now. I saw there's a question in the chat group. In the chat group, there was an action. Yeah. Mikasha, the exhibit will be open to all attendees or just the project fair guests?
That's a really good question. We initially were thinking
Attendees.
all attendees. There you go.
Clubs in the district may want to see what others are doing and may want to partner with them. So that's a great opportunity to showcase for the district.
Yes. So there you go.
Okay, thank you, PDG Sonia, for the answer. Okay, are there more questions? Please raise your hand or put it in the chat. Yes, Tanya.
Thank you, Stephen. It's not a question, but a comment to say how great the
project fair was last year for us with our Garden with Wings project. Not only interacting with the visiting Rotarians from outside of the district, but the support that we actually got as well in terms of enthusiasm from other clubs throughout our district. And so wanted to say thank you for this opportunity. Also want to find out, is there a limit to the number of projects that each club can submit?
No, not at all. Now, obviously, you know, we're not going to be able to tell you, oh, present all of them. But no, there's not. I mean, and really and truly, we're looking for quality projects to put forward to the visitors, to be presented to the visitors. But for those that aren't selected, you just go to the House of Friendship and you can certainly exhibit your project there.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Tanya. And thank you very much for your feedback. As I said, it was our inaugural one, so we had some, you know, we have a few learning curves, and we're trying to tweak those to make the next one even better than the one before. But I'm glad that we've been able to, you know, benefit, or clubs across the district have been able to benefit from it.
Yes, thank you. Are there more questions? This is the meeting where you can ask.
I'd just like to say, Chair, that even you may not have questions this evening, but as you go ahead with your presentations and you think about your projects, please reach out to the committee. Wealth of knowledge we have here on this District International Services, and you know, this is the place to come to ask your questions so that you have the best project fair experience when you come to St. Vincent. So don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks very much, Chair.
Thank you, PDG Sonia. Okay. So, are there any more questions?
I think I might have one on behalf of Betty Ann Whiteman. She's the AG for the East Clubs in Trinidad. First, I want to thank everybody who has showed up tonight. I see Tobago is well represented, and quite a bit of clubs from Trinidad as well here. AG Betty Ann was asking, today was the East Cluster meeting. So a lot of the East clubs have not been in this meeting. So she was inquiring whether or not the recording for the meeting could be available for those who have missed out. So that's just a question I'm putting out there. Maybe I'm not sure if she's there to hear your answer.
Okay. Thank you. Mikasha, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, sure. Yes, it will be available. We can circulate it via email. You know, once we get a copy of that recording, we will certainly do that. Absolutely no problem.
Okay. Thank you, Natasha.
Oh.
You're welcome, Lisa.
Okay, thank you. So then I want to thank you all. Also the interpreter that was available tonight. Paul,
Stephen,
thank you.
Sorry, just before we wrap up, I'm just going to recap. You will get the template within the next week or two. You need to submit your projects by January 31st, 2024. Of course, you can include photos or anything like that in your project write-up. You will be notified before the end of February if you're going to be presenting or not. And by mid-March, we will have a brief Zoom session to guide you on your presentation, the timing, what you can and what you should present, and what could aid in your presentation. So I just want you to keep those key dates in mind, and we'll certainly circulate that as well to everybody. So I'll hand it over to Stephen now.
Okay, thank you. So then I think we can close this meeting now.
Tanya has a question.
I'm sorry, I just thought of it. Would it be possible for us to get information on the attending, on the guest beforehand? Because we had some general guidelines of the areas that they would be interested in based on this Rotary Year themes. But if we know about the particular clubs that are coming, then we might be able to better prepare our presentations to suit their specific needs.
I think we can give you some guidance on where they're coming from and maybe, their areas of interest. But in the offset, they don't they don't want to necessarily bombarded individually from many Rotarians about, hey, what is it you're looking for? What would you like us to do? Blah, blah, blah. They really want to come in with an open mind, because one of the questions that I asked them from the last one is, you know, would you, because what we do is prior to them coming, we give them a list of the projects that are going to be presented, but we don't go into great detail. And so this year I asked them, would you also like us to give you the project write-up so that you do see it ahead of time? So, you know, you can be prepared when you're going to see the presentation. And 90% of them said no. They don't want to know ahead of time. They don't want the project write-up ahead of time. They just want to see the list of projects. They all came in with assumptions about or you know, preconceived notions that, oh, you know what, I want to hear more about this one. I think I'm going to like that one. We're going to get ready to sign up for that one. But then a lot of them said that they were really surprised at the project fair. The participants did a really great job in their presentations. They can't fault them. There's really nothing they can say to, you know, say change a presentation. But they were surprised because projects that they had dismissed or thought, yeah, I'm not going to be interested in, they really liked and they ended up funding. So, you know, from that aspect, we don't want to inundate them with too much. And also from our side, we can certainly share, you know, where they're coming from, the regions they're coming from, maybe the clubs or the districts that they're coming from, but we may not necessarily share their contact information, you know, prior to the presentations, because as I said, one of the things they don't want is to have a heap load of emails, you know, people campaigning them ahead of the presentations. I hope that
President
helps.
Takashi, may I add to that?
Yes, please.
That I think that this is an opportunity for everyone to really up their presentation skills and their game. Present as if you're presenting to the Rotary International president who is going to be giving you global grants, right? Just really step your game right up and make it as engaging as possible as Caribbean people that we are. Add that flavor to the presentation and give them, you know, the best that you can for your club, your country, etc. So I feel that if we tailor the presentations towards people and their likes and dislikes, we'll end up doing a pretty awful job of really reaching out to all the people that are going to be there offering financing and funding. And so just step up your game.
Yeah, and that's an excellent point. And that's why, you know, we highlighted that they were pleasantly surprised at some of the projects that they never would have contemplated. So it, as PDG Sonia highlighted, come with what you're passionate about, what you know about, what you know your community needs. And if you come with that passion, I'll put it out there. Tanya was, you know, she was so passionate about her project that they really loved it. And I don't think many of them came to that to that project fair thinking they were going to take up that project. But she was so passionate and she was so knowledgeable about it that they just couldn't resist her. So that's why she got, you know, the help. So that's what, you know, that is what draws them. So be authentic and you will get buy-in. So yeah.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? We have time, so Maurice, you want to say something?
Well, good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Yes, as Mikasha said, in fact, we have no control on the decision of the, let's say, investors or visitors. But it is very worth it to present and to submit because you never know what can happen. And this time, regarding the success that we had in Grenada, and you can ask different clubs who received grants or investment from them, from the people from Ohio, that it is really worth it. And as Mikasha said, it's building relationship. And once, for example, for these clubs who created real links with these clubs, you never know, this continue. And this is all Rotary is about, and all the project fair is about, is not only to get, let's say, funds, finance, but also to create contact, to create links, to network, and then you can be surprised of the magic of this project fair.
Yes, very well said, Maurice. That's it. It's not only, of course, it's important to get funding and get your projects funded, but more important, of course, is the network, the relationship you can build up, and not only for 1 year, but for the coming years. So that's why it was very well said, and I want to close with thanking you all for being in this meeting. We have challenges, and I hope that you all will prepare very nice and good projects for the coming Project Fair 2024 in St. Vincent. Thank you, and let's see till the next meeting. Thank you. Bye.